Welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm Carice and we live in Northern California, Zone 9B. We garden year-round. It is really, really hot where we live, so there are times in the summer that I don't actually make it out into the garden because I cannot bear the 119 degrees. Okay, this little corner of my garden is like paradise. That you would never know how crazy hot it is because it is just lush and gorgeous. Yes, it got to 119 officially this summer. And today I'm going to be cleaning up my echinacea, bringing some of these in, even though they are a little bit older blooms. I'm gonna bring them in to dry for tea. Echinacea is a wonderful tea for when you're not feeling 100%. And echinacea is also a cut and come again flower. So if I clean it up a little bit, it should put forth new blossoms, which make me happy and make the bees happy. And I'm just kind of checking out my garden, which is a little crazy and out of control, but that is what happens in July when you're gardening in the summer and everything has the energy it needs to grow. You can see right here that some of them are browning on the edges, which for me will be fine for tea. Ideally, you probably want to cut them when they're at their peak, but I feel like I still use them just fine. So we're gonna just clean this up a little bit, give it a new life, a new look. So it's also not completely consuming my peppers, which is honestly what it is doing right now. It is completely consuming my peppers. We have so many volunteer zinnia in our paths, which is fun this year. Last year we had a lot of volunteer sunflowers. And the cosmos are happy and vibrant. And some of the royal carpetalism is still hanging in there. Some of it got fried by the heat. One thing you want to make sure with cut and come again flowers is you're cutting where there is the little shoot to come back up, and then that will help them put off new flowers. And this one can go. You can see it right here. You can see them right here. They're all over the plant. So that's kind of what is guiding my pruning. Oh, they're so pretty though. I love them, even in their crazy wild state. They are so beautiful. So it has been so hot. It's been very hard for me to get out here, but anytime I actually come out, I'm always happy that I did. I think the garden has amazing healing, soothing effect for me, and I think I need it. This is like a season where I just need that. I need that time, and I haven't got as much of it as I usually do. That one's pretty. Maybe I'll leave that one up. It has been such a hot, dry, strange summer. I mean, dry is normal, but the heat has been just off the charts early. And so many plants, even native oaks, are really suffering. And it's a very interesting time to be gardening and just kind of looking at how things are growing and the things that are drying up and really not doing well. It reminds me that there's so little control we actually have about life. And it helps me go to a new place of surrender in that I can do what I can as a gardener. You know, I can prune, I can make things cleaned up and beautiful, but we've had some grasshoppers, some friends have had like unreal amounts, plague amounts that have decimated their gardens. Thankfully, we haven't had the plague amounts, but it is really concerning when there's so many grasshoppers, and my sweet potatoes were being eaten to nothing. I'm going to show you, we put tulle over them, tulle fabric, and it has made a big difference. They're actually finally growing some leaves back. But there's so much of that stuff that is so out of our control that we just kind of have to go, well, what a strange year. And God's going to take care of us no matter what, even when it's not the way that we think, it maybe would look or it normally looks, what we expect. I think it brings us to a new level of having to learn trust. My phone overheated. It is hot. It's not even that hot today compared to other days, but it's hot. So I guess what I'm trying to say is the garden teaches me so many lessons. It teaches me about pruning. It teaches me about letting go of control, because we've had a lot of things this year in the garden that we haven't had a lot of problems with in the past. And like even the brutal heat has killed a lot of native trees. Not necessarily our trees, but oaks that are native. Redwoods are not native, but it's killed a lot of redwoods all around this area. And, you know, even lavender looks fried. Wild blackberry bushes look fried. I don't know if that's the heat or if that is the infestation of grasshoppers, because we have had an infestation of grasshoppers even in our own blackberries and didn't get any harvest from them this year. But there's so much that is to be learned in the garden about, you know, being able to cut things back in my life, in my heart, in my garden. Let go of control of my life, of my garden. Trusting that there is a good provider, a God who cares about us, that knows our need, that knows the different trials we face, and he's not, you know, ignorant of it, but he's also not powerless. He can help us. He can provide for us in different ways if the ways that we are counting on, you know, don't work out how we think they will. And so anyway, I'm just thinking this morning, I haven't got out here enough. You know, I really do feel like it is good for my soul to be out in the garden. I need to come out here even if I'm, you know, crazy sweaty and my phone's overheating, because it really does settle things in my heart, and a good pruning settles things in. It looks beautiful. Let me show you. This is what I'm bringing in. It is a humongous pile. I'm going to dry them on shelves and use them for tea for myself. And then these are the ones that are all freshened up so far. And they look great. It looks beautiful. It's not laying on my peppers as bad anymore. The back was really laying on those back peppers, and that is all the weight is lifted off of them. So that is going to be great. The bees can find the fresh ones easier, and the butterflies, and it's way better. But yeah, these pepper beds looking quite amazing too. Look at this. Oh, what a fun pepper. It's called corbachi. And over here is where we covered with just tulle fabric to try to give like at least a shot for things to grow. And it looks like, I don't even know what some of this is. This is like weeds here, but it looks like maybe a little bit is growing back. Maybe a little bit of leaves are coming back, which is what we need. Oh, right there. There's some leaves coming back right there. That's good. So maybe we will get some sweet potatoes, or maybe we're going to be surrendering and, you know, trusting God even if we don't get any. It's grasshoppers that did that damage, I'm sure of it, because now that it's covered and they can't get through, there's a little bit of leaf coming back on those vines that were completely eaten to nothing. Well, ants got my coffee, so even though it kept it warm, I'm not going to be drinking that. Oh dear. Yeah, this looks so much better. I feel a lot better about it. It's cleaner, and then we aren't going to waste those flowers and leaves. I use both the flowers and the leaves for tea over there. And one other thing I wanted to show you over here. I've got so much to deadhead, so much to clean up, but I want to save some of these seeds from this snapdragon. Would you take a second and consider subscribing and liking this video? It helps other people find it, and that way you hear about other videos we do if you subscribe. And we have a lot that we show about growing food and just our family living on our small little homestead in Northern California. It's a really pretty yellow and pink. And so this is what the seed heads look like when they dry up. And I am going to just cut some into a paper bag. But if you open them, you can actually see, let's see, show you here, the little black seeds. So that's pretty easy to save. We're gonna get a few of those. Another thing I've been battling and just getting out here in the garden, besides the crazy heat, is I've had so many back issues this year. I had shoulder surgery in January, which my shoulder is doing great, but it also triggered this terrible back issue that I had to walk with a walker in my 40s for a couple weeks. It was pretty intense, honestly, a little embarrassing. But there's nothing I could do about it. It was a real deal, and it has limited my ability to lean over and reach and prune stuff in the garden. So I have to be very mindful of how my back is doing when I try to do any workout here. And there are days that my back just is not gonna let me do it. It's just not gonna cooperate. And I don't wanna ever get back to the place where I have to use a walker. So I try to really listen, and I'm trying to go on a walk every morning to help just get my back moving in a healthy way, get that aerobic exercise. But it has been sad that I have been in my garden a lot less, because to do this kind of pruning stuff is so much harder than it used to be, just physically. And that's another place of having to learn surrender is, I don't know, it's just dealing with the frailty of being a human is such a vulnerable thing, but we all experience it. All of us feel it. And I feel like this year I have really, really been acquainted with it and had to learn how to trust God and realize how little I really am in control. And that's okay, because He is a great provider and He is so kind. And He is a healer. He can take care of my broken body, which I can't. Even doing the best things I can do, it doesn't fully make it the way it should be. That looks a lot better. And I definitely have some seeds to replant and to share now. A lot better. But let me know in the comments below if the garden speaks to you in the deep ways that it speaks to my heart, because I think that this happens for lots of us. Even with the bugs and dryness, look at this. Things are still doing really well. Things are still doing well. We need to come out here and harvest some onions soon because they are ready. Yes, they are. Well, I want to show you a little bit of us harvesting honey before this video ends, but I keep losing my phone working because of the heat. It keeps overheating. So let's go over and let's look at us getting some honey off of our hive. This is the hive that's been more busy this year. I'm pretty sure that we need to take honey off of this one. It's seriously so heavy. Oh my gosh. This is very full capped honey on both sides. Both sides, look. It's already so very hot out here. It's going to be like 1:14 again today, and it's already 9 o'clock. No, it's not even 9 o'clock. It's like 8:30, and it's very hot right now. So we will get back in here, but we're at least going to take all of the honey frames from this super. We're going to replace them, and then after we spin it, we'll actually put the spun frames with the wax back in, whether it's here or over there. It just helps them have a head start and not have to, you know, remake all the wax every time. We did that last year and it really worked. So this frame is the last full frame in here. The edge one on each side were not full, which is, you know, honestly very normal and great. We're gonna close these girls up. They endured the heat. We endured the heat. We have places to go this morning. We will take a deeper look on a cooler morning, and by cool I think next week's going to be a high of 100 on Tuesday, so we'll try to get in that morning and we can see what the honey situation looks like over here as well. And this hive, they have a new queen that we did a split, so I'm not thinking we'll probably take any honey, or if any at all, much honey off this one, but I still want to see what's happening. I'm super excited about honey. Even with the dryness, the bees have done pretty well. This volunteer zinnia is just out of control beautiful. That color is amazing. And we're having peppers produce, but some of them kind of being eaten. So we'll take those off so it can produce the ones that we can take inside. Everything in this bed looks very lovely and very, very happy. And hopefully we get some pumpkins soon, because these are a lot of pumpkin vines. Thank you for joining me, and we'll spin that honey soon. We'll work more in this garden soon. Hopefully I can get out here when we're not overheating. But I will talk to you very soon, and be encouraged. Every season is different, but we can make it. We can make it through different seasons. That's how we grow. That's how we learn in the garden and in regular life. I'll see you soon.